Stop.
I'm just saying that if you remove all the mentally ill perspectives out of BoJack Horseman, I think all that's left is Matt LeBlanc's career.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't like Friends.
Wait, which are the three movies? Aladdin. Hello and welcome back to Privilege Check, a podcast where two girls from different backgrounds come together to unveil the reality of modern society. I'm Loveleen.
And I'm Shivangi. Through this podcast, we're going to reach out to the privileged
You already know you are because you have access to this podcast.
and teach them the 101s of how to not be a privileged pig.
In this episode, which is going to be the fifth episode of the Privilege Take, we will be discussing everything that's wrong with Disney movies. Now as heartbreaking as Shivangi says fourth. The fourth episode of the Privilege Take is going to be everything that's wrong with Disney movies, and as heartbreaking as that will be for a lot of you guys, just know that it's not for Shivangi Tripathi.
Definitely not. Yeah, I think you guys know that I hate Disney movies, I hate animation and everything. So it was very difficult to watch these three movies. Even more difficult it was to just like boil Disney movies down to three because every Disney movie has such a big problem. Like I hate all of them. So it was very difficult to boil them down into three, but we did it. And the movies we reviewed was Sleeping Beauty, 1959, and then Aladdin, 1992, and 1989, Little Mermaid. So yeah, so basically like 1959, 1989, and 1992, the entire intention was that we wanted to choose Disney movies from different eras to like basically see whether there has been like any change in Disney, like Disney progress because time changed, attitudes changed, maybe like they used their brains or something. But yeah, short answer, it did. If you want to say for why we think Disney didn't change at all, uh, you can listen to the whole podcast. And I'm saying, cool.
Amazing. Yeah. So we just took a few of these movies. Of course, we thought we would do a Disney movie marathon and look at it through more years and come up till Moana or something. But then Shivangi wouldn't do that. Plus, we decided this on like what, Saturday, and we had to record on Monday. So that was definitely
Yeah,
not.
we're recording on Monday now, Lovely. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
recording on
we
Monday.
were supposed to, but now it's Tuesday. We're recording on Tuesday. They didn't need all this information, but here it
Yeah,
is.
so who told you to tell Saturday को decide किया है everything? Diary है क्या
I
अपना
just
listener?
we are busy people. Okay, let them know we're busy people. Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, to dig into the episode,
Okay,
so
finally.
I think let's break down one movie at a time. What do we
Definitely.
start with? What do we start with? Let's start with the Sleeping Beauty. Let's start with that.
Yeah, 1959. Let's start with that. Yeah. I go first because like I have shit ton to say about Sleeping Beauty. Just can I?
Entrepreneurship episode has it that every time you say you want to go first, you don't
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know, no, but I have pointers this time. I've learned my lesson. And I
Okay.
can't just annoy
I'll
our
give you
listeners for
one
15
chance, and
minutes
if you
straight.
don't shut up, I will probably leave the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. I just have like 2 points. That's all. Like
Okay, great. Let's
I'll
go.
be
2 points.
So, I'm not gonna like repeat the story, like the plot of Sleeping Beauty, because it's a fairy tale. We've all grown up with it. Like, there are like two people from like royal families, except like one's royalty is hidden from the world, which is your Sleeping Beauty, except like AKA your Aurora, whatever, however you pronounce it. And then you have Philip. So at first, because her royalty is like hidden from the world and everything, she's portrayed as a peasant girl, somebody who lives like in the like deep like heart of the forest and everything, and who like her only companions are like what do you call it, animals and birds and everything. So at first, and then Philip like feels an attraction towards her. So at first, like during the first half of the movie, Disney was at least trying to make an attempt to break like the barriers of that was like very prominent in the 1950s, which was that you can like love only within the class you're born into in an English society, of course. So this was like their entire mentality. And at first they were trying to break it because it was a prince falling in love with a peasant, and the prince was also ready to give up on his royalty and everything, and who could and the prince could see like beyond her like class that she was born into, and he like willingly like loved her and everything. So it was shown that they first tried to establish that you could marry, you could love somebody outside of your class. But this little like secret plot element they have of Aurora being like King Stephan's daughter, hidden like daughter in hiding and everything, who just happens to be the same Aurora Philip doesn't want to marry because he doesn't want to like have an arranged marriage and everything. But it just so happens Disney just conveniently presents like an opportunity to break barriers, and yet they don't. And I felt like the fact that they made Aurora's character a prince, secret princess again, it just shows that they just wanted to perpetuate this intra-class love. You know, like you can jump and union basically that you can love and marry within the class you belong to, and at the end of the day, destiny just wants you to get together with people who are born into the same class. So I felt they really missed a good opportunity with this, and this could have been a banger movie if it had a better ending and where they could break like these class barriers and everything. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. That's a very interesting take on the Sleeping Beauty. Like a better ending. What do you want? Like to not be a princess. Like, oh, maybe if she just kept sleeping forever, that would be a great ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe like we just remove the entire princess take because like it's getting boring. I'm getting again a comment think I have really hate about Disney is that it's always about princess and prince or princess or another prince, or if it's not princess and prince then it's sultan and prince. Like please a
Prince.
little more
Sultan and
originality
Prince
please, it's
would be a
getting
good
tiring.
movie for that time. Would be a groundbreaking breaking movie
Oh,
for
I'm sorry. Yeah,
the
I'm
1900s.
yeah, my mistake. Disney could never be that folk. I'm so sorry. A sultan and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just gonna like
Princess.
retract that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
where was I? What was I saying? I absolutely lost track. But yeah, Shivangi, I think for 1959 is that when this movie released? 1959.
yeah,
Yeah, but for
yeah,
1959, that's what they did, right? They were all about princes and princesses and dreams and all of that. That's what the children wanted. I think when we say that we don't want prince and princesses, it's because of the years that we've seen prince and princesses, and now we're like
yeah,
21st century अब और prince princess नहीं
yeah,
चाहिए अब थोड़ा working class दिखा दो. Now it's all agencies and top management,
yeah,
and all of those are our dreams. The dreams have differed. Back then, the dreams were princess and princes and shadi hogi and all of that. But I think that's where it
I
comes
mean,
from.
I think like also at the same time we had the entire feminism movement in
Yeah.
50s and everything. So at the same time, I feel like they could have done something more with like whatever they had. Like I know they were
Hmm.
trying to sell to public, but it is a thing. It is a product of its era, definitely.
Hmm.
But it's just not really like they could if they had a plot element like that. They could just do without the her being like a peasant and whatever. Like these people are fairies, right? They could
Hmm.
just be a rich person. I don't know.
That is something I wanted to talk about. Like, it didn't logically make sense to me that they lived in the forest as peasants because fairies है ना कुछ भी तो मिल ही तो सकता है तुम हाथ से क्या ऐसे
Yeah,
lopsided cake बना रहे हो it's, you
yeah,
could just make your fairies just use that, but I know that they were in the forest and they lived like the way they did in a small house because they wanted to show that the princess was dead, something like that. Like they were hiding the princess away, so they didn't want any attention, so anything massive would get a lot of attention, just like our Ambani Sahab does like these days. Like they'll make small investments, nothing big, because usko attention milega. How do I invade tax like in small parts?
yeah.
Just like that. Amazing. Yeah. So that's exactly what they were thinking of. But still, like I was thinking, कि यार underground घर हो जाता, and then that was big enough because she's a
Yeah,
princess
or
and
you
there's
could,
fairies, or
it's
they
so
like had some
weird.
suraksha kavach
Yeah, because
that
if
would
you're
hide
hiding
them
a
away.
princess, the best place to hide a princess is the castle itself. She could just walk in the castle. Like nobody's going to expect to when you know that the princess has been like taken away.
Hmm.
Nobody's gonna come to the castle and find her. So why the hell did they
Yeah.
go to such lengths and put her in the forest?
Yeah. But like if they were in the castle and like she was given special treatment by her parents because of course mata pita ka pyar, and if she
माता
was
पिता
as
का प्यार क्या? Stefan was ready to ship Aurora off the day she came back. He was like, ले लो Aurora को, मैं तो मजाक ही कर रहा था. What parental love you have? और फिर इसकी माँ तो एक बार भी एक डायलॉग नहीं है इसकी माँ का, like to the entire movie by
yeah,
the way.
it
Very weird
wouldn't
to me.
this movie wouldn't pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Even
Anyway,
Aurora doesn't really speak, she only just sings. Which is
yeah,
again a problem I have. I know it's a product of its age, but
yeah.
as somebody who's a product of their age, I have a problem with it.
Yeah, yeah, and also their songs are like so stretched out. Like they're not even saying the words properly. I can't comprehend what's happening. Just, but coming back to this,
Yeah,
the main problem, one of the main problems I had with um the Sleeping Beauty, except the fact that consent and kissing and everything that's been there, done that, which probably Shivangi will cover later on,
not
is
really. I have no problem with it because मर रही है बेचारी यार कंसर्न भाड़ पे जाए वो क्या सो के उठ के बोलेगी कि यार take my consent. So I was just like forget it.
okay, so
I have
I'll
no
come back
problem
to
with
that.
it.
But I don't know if
Yeah.
people notice, but when Aurora is born, there's a 10 odd year Philip who comes to give his gift to Aurora, the newborn
Yeah.
baby, right before Maleficent enters. I think it's right before. No, 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 it's before the fairies enter. So there's like some why, and I was just thinking that she was like a little baby when you were like almost a good
I
age.
know. Even I
That was
noticed
so
that. Yeah.
weird for me. I was just like, what is going on? That's like a literal baby. And they're telling him, this is your future wife. I'm like, that's a baby. That baby does not know, like we said in our previous episode, the baby does not know poop and food ka difference.
Yeah.
They
Wow, what was the previous episode? Can't believe we made such a
sexuality.
smart. Oh,
Sis
baby does
said,
not
yeah,
know.
right. You should, if you haven't listened to it yet, you should go back to it. And if I
Me?
can, hmm? No, not you, listeners. Shivangi, why would I?
Oh,
Why?
yeah. I'm just wondering why is she like telling me to listen.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So these guys are telling Philip that this is going to be your future wife, and I'm like, this baby is just born.
Yeah.
It's it's right there. This baby can't do moo moo gaga properly. What is going on? And I just lost it. Then I was like, why are you like determining this? Isn't this child marriage? Because I know like a lot of communities in India which do this thing where when they're babies, they're like इनका engagement or रोका whatever, they get that done कि तुम इसी से शादी करोगे when you grow up, and then they're like, now you too get married, huh? Like that doesn't make sense. I
Yeah.
wish that didn't
I
happen.
had, yeah. It was very awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so awkward.
Insane.
Then there's Philip going and giving the gift. I'm like, okay, calm down. ठीक है.
Like, I can't even, it's so weird. Like, no wonder he hates Princess Aurora. He's like,
Yeah,
how do I marry somebody who I saw as an infant? Like, she's a
yeah,
child to me.
yeah. Like exactly. Like I don't think anybody you've seen as a child, just a newborn child who you could carry in your arms, you can see them differently ever again. We'll always see them
Yeah.
as a baby. I don't think that works. Freud would
Yeah.
differ, but
Freud would have, Freud would differ in a couple of things. I don't even think that's
uh,
something we can talk about. Yeah.
anyway, what's the next thing you got, Shivangi? for the Sleeping Beauty.
Again, something that's going to have people be like, "Arey, but it's the 50s now. It's chalta hai ye sab us time pe." I don't really like how like they have this like with their female leads and only the female leads. It's insane. Everybody but the female leads does not have this characteristic, but only the female lead has this characteristic, and which is this ultra femininity. Like you're going to have right from singing to stressing on the pink outfit and not blue, and like right from the entire damsel in distress and like all of the songs she sung, which was this yearning for love, basically. And I felt like they portrayed the female lead Aurora very ultra feminine to the point that it felt so unrealistic for a woman. Like, of course, for me, I can't even imagine a woman like that right now. Like, even yeah, even the most underprivileged people wouldn't like speak like this. Like, it doesn't even matter about the education people like receive or like whatever. It's just it's such an unrealistic depiction of like women's desires and women's needs. It's just like वो जिंदा होते हैं वो खाते पीते हैं हर दिन मतलब बस एक दिन फिलिप से मिलने के लिए like it just feels so weird to me. And yeah, another trait that all of these like princesses have to be good at singing, like all of these female leads have to have a sweet voice and everything and have to be compassionate and be get along with nature and like just be such an accepting character and everything, and I'm sick of it. I want to see flawed characters, and I understand it's 1950s, but I see I already had a dislike for Disney, right? And this just makes it worse. So
Hmm.
this just serves my case that
Yeah.
Disney sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, see, if it was one movie where they decided that, hey, we're going to represent all women, so like one of our movies is going to be ultra feminine, it would still be fine. But like all of the Disney movies of that era
all of them sing.
have all
Why?
of them sing.
इतने सिंगर्स है यार इंडियन आइडल में भेजो अनु मालिक खुश हो जाएगा why are you keeping it all to yourself? What is
Like
this?
I don't get it. Like I don't think Indian Idol existed back then, but
Whatever.
yeah, but
R.D. Burman के पास लेके जाओ whatever whoever was the producer then.
whatever that is. Anyway, um, yeah, like I really and I think Shivangi and I both grew up with Disney movies, even though it was released in 1950s. I mean, 2010 में क्यों बता रहे हो हमें वो same Disney movie? Because that's what we watched as 9-year-olds, right? We watched all of these Disney movies, and that's why it's so problematic. Because growing up, if you are watching something from the 1950s and it's going to create a real bad image. Like, even though I would say Disney has evolved to an extent, but if you're the thing is that society keeps forcing us to go back to all of this. And if I'm going to watch three princesses who sing and I can't, that's just, it just makes the girl feel bad for herself. And I'm using specifically feminine pronouns because that's who it's impacting. Like I don't see a
Yeah.
guy saying like I can't sing. In fact, guys were
Yeah.
enforced like you don't
Guys
sing,
are
you
going to
don't
be like, yeah, being Philip is so easy. I just need to like, go into a
ride a
forest
horse.
and like, just fall into water and then search for like somebody singing and I'm gonna find it because every woman sings, right? This also like sets perceptions of what an ideal woman is. Because a lot of these men like have their sexual awakenings or like even like their romantic awakenings while watching Disney movies. Their favorite, like their ideal woman, most of the time is based on like Disney characters as a child. So then it becomes really difficult when they hit puberty and they meet other women who are going through puberty as well, who try to make themselves look like Disney characters or speak and just get these ultra feminine
Hmm.
traits that
Like
really is not,
how women are.
yeah, yeah, it's just quite literally how
Yeah.
women are. So yeah,
For example, like this is what Bollywood does to you as well. Like I grew up with a lot of Bollywood and a lot of Disney equally. So growing up, I would always feel like that's how you are supposed to be. You can't be any other way. So you are supposed to be nice. You're
yeah,
supposed to sing and you're supposed to wear pink and you're supposed to do all of that. And like guys are watching it
yeah,
at the same time. So they feel like, oh, this is how a man is supposed to be. And that's the kind of woman that I need to find for myself. Because
Yeah,
That's what life is all about. Gods find guys and guys find girls, and that's life.
exactly.
Because
Have true love
even if you
kiss
see
because
all
all
of these,
problems. Yeah, yeah, go on. Please
even if
go
you
on.
see all of these Disney movies, their happy ending is getting married. Like you have two doves flying and one carriage, and you go off. That's getting
Yeah,
married for you guys.
yeah.
So
Any problem in life, lovely, just have your true love kiss. ठीक है? बस pros con list don't bother. Just have the true love kiss. सब solve हो जाएगा.
yeah,
Any problem
I
you got.
think
That's
I
what
think
Disney
the
movies
next
should do.
time I'm faced with a really difficult problem, I'm going to go into a forest which is really close by for me, considering where
Yeah.
I live. So it's really close for
Thank
me.
to yes.
No, it's
Thanks to
actually like
Shiv
I'm not
Sena,
even
there
being
is still a
sarcastic right
forest.
now. It's actually
Yeah.
really close for me. So
Yeah,
I'll just go
leopards are
into
like Sunday guests in Lovely's house. They
yeah.
come for chai.
Definitely. So I'll go to RML colony and forest के बीच में मैं जाके I will sing and then somebody will come on a horse, fall into the water, and all my problems will be solved.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. I can just imagine you singing a Demi Lovato song in the middle of the forest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Of course. I'll have to pick a
Yeah.
good song. Like I'll have to pick hmm. I'll have to pick a Selena Gomez song probably. Or a
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the one. I'll
Yeah.
have to pick
Just
a
go
Taylor
sing
Swift
Lover.
song. Yeah,
Yeah. And then your
that's the
Philip is going
solution.
to come from like
Forest
the
is very
bushes
close
and
to you
everything.
also, Shivangi. Like those stations दूर है, not as close to mine as it is to
Yeah.
me, but it's quite close to you as well. So you can also do this. We
Yeah,
should
I told
try this.
you there are
Like,
monkeys and
yeah.
rats and popots and this one parasite bird around my house.
But
So I practically live in a forest.
yeah.
Beat that, Disney. You made me
Yes.
live in a forest. How are
Yeah.
you going to copy on me?
So yeah, we next time we are ranting to each other about how much our life sucks. We'll do this. Next time we don't get
Yeah,
good views on episodes we put a lot of efforts in.
yeah.
We'll do this.
Tab they will know, privilege check on her.
Yeah.
This
Then we
love
won't
comes
need to do privilege check. Na? Then
manipulating.
privilege check. Privilege check will rule because then somebody will fall in the water and look for us. We'll be singing, then we'll get married. कासिर से हम podcast करेंगे
Oh,
तो मतलब
yeah,
background अच्छा होगा, शक्ल अच्छी होगी, light अच्छे होंगे. So देख लेंगे ना ये लोग.
definitely.
Then we will become
As
celebrity
one very
activists.
intelligent,
Then we'll become celebrity activists because now we are
we'll
rich.
become Juhi Chawlas. Juhi Chawlas of the world.
Yes, precisely. Juhi Chawlas of the
As
world.
one intelligent comment very eloquently put on our most highly viewed reel, इनके
Yeah,
पास बस लड़के का काम है तो
yeah,
हम फाइनली वो अचीव करने वाले हैं अगर आप सुन रहे हो तो आप बहुत ही खुश होंगे ये जान के थैंक
yeah.
यू
So yeah, then we'll be nice. We'll be Juhi Chawlas of the world. So then everybody will think कि ये देखो ये rich होकर भी ये सब लोगों के लिए इतना
वो
मेहनत
नाइस
कर रहा है.
मैन एग्जैक्टली पैसे वाली है तो क्या हुआ
Yep.
अच्छी है अरे भाई अच्छी है बिकॉज पैसे वाली है
Yeah.
as simple as that don't make me give you privilege checks
Anyway, so let's move on to the next movie. Which one should we take?
yeah I think let's talk about Little Mermaid chronological order this is
Yeah,
1989 so yeah
the
you
year
want me to
Taylor
start
Swift
or
was
do you
born.
want to I'm very weirded out that you know it's actually the year my brother was born
So your brother's as old as Taylor Swift.
yeah
I remember it because her album was 1989, right? How would you not remember?
yeah I never wasted my childhood listening to like mainstream pop so I wouldn't really know I'm an
You
edgy
wasted
girl.
your
I hate
childhood
Disney.
squealing in class when somebody mentions BTS.
That was not my childhood.
So it's worse
That
that you
was,
were not in your childhood when you did that. You
yeah,
wasted
I
your
was
childhood
16.
building the squeal up.
I wasted my childhood on TV shows. and not music. Sadly,
Oh, okay. I don't see how that's better, but
it's still better. I have more stories to tell than the best story ever. Whatever the song was by One Direction.
it's the best song ever. But I don't.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But and the other one is the story of my life, and you mix the two up. But anyway,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so sorry, guys.
yeah.
I
I don't know.
literally
I don't
couldn't
see
care
how is
less.
Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do is better than those.
It's definitely better. There's angst there. Hello. I also fun fact. I didn't watch that in my childhood again. I watched that when I was 18. So my childhood was again not
Weird
wasted on
life
this.
choices, Shivangi. Just weird life choices.
Yes, I'm reliving the childhood I never had.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Anyways,
when
talking about
people
Little
relive
Mermaid,
their childhood, they watch Shararat and things like that.
I did watch that as well, but I realized the humor was bad. So
Okay. Okay. Anyway, The Little Mermaid. Right. So
yeah,
I didn't pay much attention to this movie. I
same.
just think it's straight up. Oh wow, great. So we're both coming here to talk about The Little Mermaid without any clue. Let's get that out of the way. I just think that it's really dumb that she was like, "Oh, आवाज दे दूंगी, पैर मिल जाएंगे." What was the entire? The plot is so weird. It's so weird.
Bro, I have
Who?
zero clue what you're talking about. Did we watch the same movie? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Who thought of this plot though? What? We watched the same movie, right?
I watched Little Mermaid, but I didn't pay attention, so I had no idea ये सब हो रहा था. I just thought she went गूंगी हो गई अचानक से, and she went on the land, and she had 3 days to make Prince Eric kiss her and everything.
Yeah, but why? How did she go to the land? Let me just.
I have no idea. I told you I this was just playing and I was on my phone. I hate Disney. I couldn't pay attention.
So she went to Ursula. Did you see that?
I saw it happening. I didn't listen to it.
Amazing. She went to Ursula to like get legs for her because वो मच्छी पानी पे कैसे आएगी ना मतलब land पे कैसे आएगी with her मच्छी वाला
Okay.
tail.
Yeah.
So she went for that and she had to sacrifice her voice for it.
Oh, that's why she lost her voice. I thought she just
Yeah.
lost her voice because mermaids, maybe there was something where she couldn't speak on land or something. Yes, see, I didn't pay attention. I had just had one point about this movie and then I just stopped
Please make
watching.
your one point and then let's move forward. Please make your one point.
Yeah. Very basic point. I mean, again, the privilege of Disney having an unoriginal plot, of being born into royalty, and then leaving everything you have because you can afford to. You can afford to give up everything you have. You can afford to give up your position. You can afford to leave your old father behind and chase after another royalty as if there's any less in the very place you live in. And you chase after another royalty and this royalty that you consider you love. Even though you just met your so-called other half like a day ago. You didn't even like actually interact with them. You just saw them play with a dog and thought, yeah, that's the man I'm going to marry.
The likeliness of her meeting royalty on sea. Like you would expect her to meet a trader, a fisherman,
Yeah,
or
house.
somebody working with oil, or I don't know, like all out of all the things in 1989 that you would meet on in water, literal sea, she meets royalty. How likely is that
Disney
to
makes
happen?
it happen.
It's
Always.
like say मैं
Disney
local
makes
train
it
में गई और
happen.
मुझे royalty मिल गया.
हाँ जी, हाँ, अमिताभ बच्चन उधर ही फूक रहा था. मैंने उसको उधर ही देखा.
Wow, Amitabh Bachchan royalty now. Oh, okay.
That's the only person I could think of. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
They were
Like
just
the like.
really dumb and yeah, she just had so much privilege to do all of this bakwas and care about like love and blah, 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 blah. And again, so much femininity and so much like
She's singing
at
again.
first,
She's singing all the time.
why is there so much music? Like why so much music is all I
Like,
ask.
see, also like Sebastian is the lobster crab person.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that character.
Yeah, I love
Beautiful
the
character.
character. I
Make
wish
him
he
the
didn't
lead
sing.
Disney.
I wish he didn't sing. I wish he rapped. It would be so much
Yeah,
better. His character would be so much
so
better
much cooler.
if
Yeah,
Sebastian rapped instead of singing. Just
yeah. I know. It's like I don't understand this like attractiveness you put into singing. Like
yeah.
there are alternative forms of music as well that are much better and that are you know not that obviously are not unoriginal. Okay, and I really liked Ariel at first, Evelyn, because I felt that she was such a sort of a stark different character from Aurora. At first I liked that she was like not just oh, I'm just going to go around the sea and just talk about love and how I haven't met that person and blah blah blah. She was curious, she was rebellious, she like would just like she had her own stand and everything, and then she fell into love. She just became like the 1950s Aurora
But
then.
Aurora was also exploring the forest technically. She was going around the forest. Ariel was doing
Exploring
the
the
same
forest
thing
is not
in.
rebellious, it's like going on the road and buying pani puri like.
But but like Aurora did the same thing in her own atmosphere, the water.
So,
Ariel did that thing
uh,
in water.
so but Aurora was told to pick berries, right? So she was told to go to the forest.
Wow, I didn't pay so much attention. Okay.
Yeah, so I watched it for the first time. So she was told to like pick berries. So they could prepare the lopsided cake and like that disgusting dress and everything. And but yeah, which was not and Ariel was like literally went
Hmm.
offshore to the seagull and she was, getting that fork and that
Hmm.
pipe and everything, whatever. So I didn't like see there's like not much in Disney to like actually I can actually demand for a character that I like. I just have to negotiate with Disney female leads because they're just so ridiculous.
Disney.
So I negotiated, yeah, and I was just like, fine, Ariel is better than Aurora and everything, but so much femininity, so much singing, and I felt like it was also low-key sexual harassment. Like when on Prince Eric after like he drowned and everything. Like she was just like, just holding his face and just going, wow, 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 you're so pretty and everything. And I was just so weirded out by this. Like, you don't know this person. What's
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
Why all this?
So
Like,
weird. And
I
I
hate
keep
love at first sight.
remembering her as a fish. Like I don't think like she's even half
Yeah,
human. For me, it's a fish.
I
So it's just like
same. Yeah,
I never
it is
liked
weird.
Ariel because I always thought of Ariel as a fish. So I never liked Ariel. I was like, I don't know what it was about Ariel. I just
Great, then
never,
you
and
can
I really
negotiate.
found her stupid. I told you, like I started this
Uh,
movie with I think Ariel is really stupid.
yeah.
And I can't stand her because come on यार she's like पैर चाहिए मुझे तुम
मेरी
मेरा
आवाज ले लो.
आवाज ले लो. How are you going to come in? What you want to do is fine कि यार 3 दिन में Prince Eric.
यार just
It's
wait for your prince to
like
come back ना ship में.
you
तुम क्यों
know
जा रहे हो?
you know the thing that you know Bollywood movies would do 3 दिन लड़की in or if you watch Hera Fairy then it would be like 3 दिन में माल double. So it feels like all of those tropes being applied over here to me.
Oh, okay. Zero idea. But oh, okay. Now got it. I've never seen Hera Fairy, but yeah. Yeah.
You don't watch Disney, you don't watch iconic Hindi movies. I don't know what you're doing with your life. I
It's not that I don't want to watch Hera Fairy. I just never seem to like be able to watch it
it's
completely, even
literally
though it airs
always on
every time.
TV. It's literally always.
Exactly. It's like Khatta Meetha of like right now. It keeps airing every single day. And I cannot
Like the
like, but
Surya Vansham,
somehow
I think that would make more sense. It's like the
it
Surya
Khatta
Vansham
Meetha
of
for
our
my
era.
house. It was Khatta
I
Meetha
don't
for
see
my
Khatta Meetha that much. Like I don't
Khatta
know how
Meetha
you're.
was on cable all the time when I had cable and when we didn't have like Hathaway and all that. When we had cable, it was on cable all the time, literally all the time. Like my mother was so it was like that song, Neele Asma ke paar jayenge. No, no, not that song. Sorry, there's another Bollywood song about Neela Asman. And that song was
Of
also all
course.
the time. But basically, what I was saying was, yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, we
Ariel.
don't like
Ariel.
Ariel. Ariel is dumb. Ariel is no for us. Like, it's not.
Prince
Like, at
Eric
least
has zero
Aurora, I felt
personality
like,
except
okay, ठीक है,
playing with
things
the
were not in
dogs.
her hand. Okay, wow, we're talking. At least Aurora, I felt like things were not in her hand. But I felt like Ariel was actively dumb. Like, Ariel didn't care about things. She was like, पैसे हैं नहीं
She has.
चाहिए. I will go to some
Yeah.
sunken ship and look for a fork to comb my hair. Like, I that doesn't make sense. Like, what he wants with life, it doesn't make sense. But even when she
Ariel
was like
was just.
exploring and all of that, it was like, okay, fine, she wants more with life. But then she goes on like, I want a man in life. I was like, oh, again, this is not working out for me.
This is why I liked her at first. I felt that, I understand she wants to see a world beyond
Hmm.
blue and everything. I understood like her need for like curiosity and everything. But then like to think that it was all just for a man, like it wasn't the
Yeah,
fork that made her lose her voice to
yeah,
get her
yeah,
feet back.
yeah. And
It
Ariel
was
was
a
what?
man
Ariel,
playing with a dog.
yeah.
So what?
And
Just
this is
get a
like,
sea dog.
and Ariel is what? Ariel was 16 apparently at this time.
These ages are so wild, yaar. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Even Aurora was 16, I guess.
Yeah, she was almost, she was done with being 16. Like, I mean,
It was
I
her
mean, like,
16th birthday, right? All of this drama happened on her 16th birthday.
no. So I watched it carefully. So I think what happened was that the fairies were celebrating her birthday itne like dham se
Hmm.
because she had completed her 16th birthday, like her 16 years peacefully, and she was going to turn like 17, and these people hadn't found her or something like
Oh.
that.
But
And
wasn't she
then, like
supposed
at the
to
last minute,
prick her nail on her 16th birthday or something like that?
yeah, she was supposed to, but then she wasn't 16, right? Because like that, so she was still 16 when she pricked the
Oh.
spindle or whatever
Oh,
it's called.
yeah, yeah, whatever. Ariel was 16 as well. Snow White was
Yeah.
14.
Who was 14?
Snow White was 14. That's so wild.
Dude, how stupid was this step? Whoa, that person who spoke into the mirror and everything to compete with a 14-year-old's beauty. Like a 14-year-old is never going to look like what they're looking at when they're 14-year-old. Like that's
Yeah,
just not right.
weird.
Just wait for her to age. God.
So like, no, I
Just
want her heart. Bas lekar
yeah,
aao usse.
exactly.
Whew. Anyway.
I feel like
Hmm.
Disney movies would make more sense if they didn't try to, glamorize, or like they didn't try to just kind of cut the Grimm's fairy tale. It would like be more logical because the Grimm's actually made sense. It was dark and it was humane and it was everything. But
Yeah.
with Disney, it becomes so unrealistic. And I feel like these fairy tales would be good stories and good lessons if we just had it in the original format
Hmm.
and
Makes
just
sense.
not try like this.
It's just stupid. Like, I think what Disney actually is just tried to do was sell dreams, but it's just not working. It didn't work out. I don't know how people back then would have reacted to all of these things, all of these stories, but I have no idea. But at least now it doesn't work out. And the fact that all of these stories are only being recycled through the years, it's
Yeah.
worse. That's the
Yeah.
problem actually. Like, if see, I think even if it was like, okay, we used this in 1989 and we finished it off in 2000, 20 years is a good run. I think after 2000, if just mat karo ye wapas.
Cinderella had a live action in like 2016 or something,
Yeah,
right? So it's
exactly,
never
exactly
ending.
what I'm saying.
Never
It's
ending.
never ending. Like,
They
when
don't
was
even
that
make
Hilary Duff movie that
adjustments.
came out?
Yeah. Cinderella story, na?
Yeah,
Hanji.
like
Definitely.
Beauty and the Beast got a live action abhi abhi. I still feel like it's abhi abhi. Emma Watson
Yeah.
wala.
Yeah, it is 2018 or 17. Like it's
So yeah, three
been a
odd
long
years,
time.
4 odd years, okay.
Yeah.
But still, it's a
Just
long time. Just keep making
yeah.
live actions useless.
I like live actions more than the animated, obviously.
I know, I know. You don't like anything animated. It's like you didn't have a
Yeah,
childhood.
yeah. It was in 2017.
Okay. And when was the original Beauty and the Beast? Sure, was that? Belle was
Well, like,
17.
well,
Beauty and the Beast was still
90,
better crafted, honestly.
1991. Honestly, I agree with you. I think one of the Disney movies that I can actually tolerate is Beauty and the
Beauty
Beast.
and the Beast,
Like
definitely.
I really like the talking cutlery and everything. I just love
Yeah.
it so much. I love
Lumiere was
candles. I
like the
love,
clock and the candlestick, the fight they would
yeah,
have. Like, I feel like every
yeah,
cutlery had its own character arc. So it was
yeah,
great. I loved it.
yeah. I actually, if there's a Disney movie that, that I can actually willingly watch, it's Beauty and the Beast. I won't put it on, but if it's playing, I'll watch it. So
Yeah.
that's a good
Hmm.
like thing.
Yeah. Great. Let's move on to the next movie, I guess. Have we done
Yeah,
bashing The Little Mermaid? I think we had a lot, very little to say about it because we just think the entire thing is really dumb, and that's the verdict.
so overdone and like
Yeah.
considering time had passed, Disney hadn't
A
changed.
live action of The Little Mermaid would be so weird.
There is one, right? Is there not?
No.
Really?
No,
There
there
is
is
a one.
no,
Yeah,
there is. Is there a live action for The Little Mermaid? That's so crazy.
yeah.
That's wild.
The Little Mermaid Lives. It was in 2019. It's a television movie.
Television film. That's so weird, man. So weird.
I can bet this would still be better than the original one. I just hate Ariel's face, man.
No
She's such a
man,
cringy
bro.
character.
That no. I think it's going to be worse. Just imagine watching like a girl that's half fish.
First of all,
This
fish is disgusting, so
exactly fish is
agree.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I just looked at the poster. It's so bad.
yeah, exactly.
So
It's so
bad.
bad.
So this was like a live
Yeah,
reaction to the poster of Little Mermaid live. Okay,
yeah.
anyway. Next movie is Aladdin. Aladdin.
Hmm.
Aladdin is how we pronounce it. Even though the movie had it as Aladdin, and I was like, at least use Middle Eastern names with a Middle
Sultan?
Eastern
What
accent.
the hell is Sultan?
Yeah,
Sultan क्या होता है भाई?
yeah, exactly. I was really annoyed by that. That was the first thing that pissed me off. I was like, at least वो cultural appropriation क्या चल रहा क्या है यहाँ पे?
Just get Middle Eastern people to voice act,
Even
man. Why
even
do
the
you
live
decide to?
action, even the live action had an American accent, and it was annoying.
Yeah, it is Will Smith, right? Will Smith.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you could easily get a Middle Eastern person to do this. We did not need another Will Smith movie. As great as
Yeah.
movies would be, but like we did not need another Will Smith. Will Smith
First
movie.
of all, Aladdin as a live action just seems so dumb. The magic of Aladdin is animation.
Yeah,
Also, Aladdin is one of the few movies, by the way, I actually love from this. Like that's like
Aladdin has
Sleeping
a
Beauty,
plot. Okay, imagine Aladdin actually has.
and Aladdin's character is likable.
Yeah,
I like Aladdin. I hate Jasmine. I wish that person just perished or something into the air. Even though her character arc is completely valid and that's a very feminist cause and whatever. But I loved Aladdin's character and
Jasmine
I
isn't
loved his
like, and Jasmine is not always singing, so that feels great for once.
But also she's like, yeah, so minus the singing, she's just Aurora. Like she's just mad. No, she's lit Ariel actually. Minus the singing, she's
Yeah,
just Ariel.
minus the singing. She's like Ariel on land.
Yeah, she's literally that. Ariel on like Middle Eastern land.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
She's Ariel on sand.
Yeah. Also, did you feel like Aladdin and Jasmine could pass as like siblings? They had the same features. Their nose is also the same. Their face
I
shape is
think the
also the same.
animators were like, मिडिल ईस्टर्न और कौन से फीचर्स हो सकते हैं, लेट्स जस्ट कॉपी पेस्ट
Yeah,
दिस.
that was a criticism that Middle Eastern people, were either made to look like how the shopkeepers and that Jafar was look like
Yeah,
completely
yeah, like
constructed faces.
jawline and
And
everything.
Aladdin and all of these, Aladdin and Jasmine were just given very Americanized
Yeah,
features. Like, how mixed babies would look like.
yeah,
That's what they like. They didn't have authentic features and everything, which is completely valid.
that's a big problem. The
A
other
lot
one
of
was,
cultural flaws and bindi and
yeah,
all that they were showing in Middle Eastern countries. Really, Islam doesn't wear bindi. I think should really think before speaking. But one of my friends
yeah,
said that Islam doesn't wear. I mean, in Islam you don't wear bindi
yeah, why would they not wear bindis?
because apparently bindi and all of that is a sign of Hindu women.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
It's not a rule, but it's just shown like like according to one of my friends who's Muslim, like I remember I asked her why she was not wearing a bindi during the prayer, and she said she's not allowed because in Islam you don't wear that because that's a sign of like Hindu like marriage and
Tika.
whatever. Like bindi, yeah, exactly, tika. So that becomes that, and that's why she was not allowed to wear it. It's not like haram or anything,
Yeah,
but yeah, I was
probably
like
like
weirded
a
out by the
community
bindi.
thing as well.
Yeah, I think it's more of an Indian thing, more rather
Yeah,
than like a South Asian thing.
yeah,
But like, yeah. So I really felt like the bindi really put me off. But if it's actually a thing, then good to you, like great for you, Disney, everything.
yeah, whatever.
The outfits and everything were just so South Asian rather than being Middle Eastern. That pissed me off.
Yeah, like also the entire like stating the elephant in the room. Aladdin was basically lying to Jasmine all this while. Like, and
Yeah,
I don't see
I
how
really.
it just works out. Like, he had a lot of opportunities to state his truth and he didn't, which is just,
Yeah. Like honestly, I really felt for Aladdin because I felt like Aladdin was such a good like visual representation, like, or more rather like a fictional representation of everything we talk about on this podcast. Like he was just such a good representation initially with like how hard life is and everything and
hmm,
the
yeah,
kind of privilege differences and all that and how people treat people with like lesser privilege and everything. So he was a really good representation, really good like opportunity to again do more than just make it about a love story.
yeah,
Disney failed at. So yeah, I really loved Aladdin's character though. Like I genuinely wanted to sit with him and just talk. Like
yeah, yeah.
I
Aladdin's
I wouldn't do
character,
that.
Aladdin was like, I just pronounced it like an American word. Aladdin would like,
Yeah,
is, I feel like it's a lesser developed Flynn Rider.
sort of. Yeah,
Like, it's like Aladdin walked so that Flynn Rider could run sort of situation.
yeah. Aladdin strutted. Some film like Flynn Rider could cripple walk. Like sorry, but
Okay,
Aladdin's
whatever.
way right now. Flynn Rider, I forgot about you.
Yeah,
Aladdin's just spectacular, man. Such a
yeah.
good character.
Good character. Good, definitely good character. I wish the
Like
story
he
was much more
really,
than a.
yeah. Like what I said about the animation not making me feel like I don't like, making me feel like they're not real people and everything.
Yeah.
I never felt that with Aladdin. I could actually see him like
Right.
as a real person.
Right.
And
Exactly.
like, and as opposed to like all of these other characters they had where they were royalty or like secret royalty. I really liked Aladdin. He had a very humane aspect to him. Like when he would give the bread to like
Hmm.
children who are looking
Hmm.
for in the trash and everything. Really like I really liked his character. They could have done so much more with him than just
But then it also comes down to you feel like you would meet an Aladdin in real life and you would meet Aladdin like
yeah,
on the day. But again,
exactly.
the others are royalties, so you don't even expect that. So I think that
Yeah,
by itself like cancels a lot of
yeah,
relatability aspect.
yeah, definitely. That's unsaid. That
But
definitely
it's
goes
also
unsaid. That
yeah, but it's also so weird how Disney wanted to show somebody who's uh, who's not as privileged and who's not royalty, and somebody who's not a princess or a prince, and they're like, you know what, let's go to the Middle East. That's where we
Yeah,
find them. It's so
गरीबी
weird
उधर
that
ही
it is
मिलने
that.
वाली है हमें. I know they have a lot of problem with how Middle East markets and like
Yeah.
portrayed and everything. Like a lot of articles and there's this whole person, man. There's a whole personality. Like there's a whole like philosopher who dedicated his entire life to just talking about how Aladdin really just completely cemented this image of Middle East in
Hmm.
Like America and like our Western
Definitely.
culture. And it really is true, man. Like
And
people
also, like,
definitely
I
think,
I might get a lot of hate for saying this, but I think Americans are really dumb because they base all of their beliefs on what
I
they
love how you
see
just
on
started.
TV.
I know it is dumb. It is really dumb. Like they're just
Like
thinking,
anything
you know,
they
I
see
just have
on
a
TV, they're like,
yeah,
ये ऐसे ही होता है. Like,
huh,
this is how the country is. It's like,
definitely.
if I did that, I would feel like every American is, I don't know, skipping high school to eat junk food. Like they're going back
Why?
home.
That's the truth. They are doing that.
Right? Like every
Like
American
they could,
would be looking like characters from Riverdale then. Like all of
yeah,
them are doing that.
they're all Archie and
Veronica,
that dude who said, no, that dude,
Jughead.
no. There's this one dude, right, who said that I've been a part of football since my nana died and I was drug. Like, what was the thing? There's a line, right? My nana died and then I sold drugs at the age of 14. High school football. Have you never seen this meme? There's a meme that let me just search it, man. Why do I even bother talking to a
Reggie.
granny right now? No, it's not Reggie. My Nana
Why do
died
you know more about Riverdale than I do? Why?
because this is a very nice line. I sold drugs when I was 15. You don't know the epic highs and lows of high school football. Such a waste of time, but I
Yeah.
cannot rest with it.
Yeah.
So sorry. I
It would be
dropped out
so
in the
weird
fourth
if we were like the American, we were Indians who, like the Americanized version or Americanized perspective of Indians. It would be so cool if we were like that. We'd be like super
grade,
smart,
right?
like
Just eat
acing
curry all
tests.
the time. I mean, I'm super smart nonetheless, but it's not my ethnicity.
Yeah. It would be so
Anyways, the
cool.
dialogue is
Hmm.
I dropped out in the
Just show
fourth
me who the
grade.
person is. I don't know who the person is. I should Google it. I sold
I
drugs.
dropped out. No,
Oh, I sold drugs to support my nana. Okay, I
yeah,
got it.
I dropped.
I dropped out in fourth grade to run drugs to support my nana. How cool. So cool.
Yeah, that's like America basically, I feel.
Hmm.
Also, these Americans are so dumb. They could just like go to like like the near because immigrants mostly work like at the time this movie was released, they mostly worked like low wage jobs because
Yeah.
the immigration like differences and everything. So they could just talk to somebody going like through a low like who's working a low wage job.
Yeah. But
Talk about
no.
whether Middle East is like that or not. But
No.
नहीं टीवी पे जो आता है वो सच्ची होता है.
Exactly. Like they watch something and they're like the entire country is like this. This is
Yeah,
how they are.
yeah, like
Hmm.
it's insane. Like it's just crazy. It's just so crazy, man. I cannot
Yeah.
believe Americans are
I'm
like
also really
literally
sad,
doing
like
it.
Middle Eastern people, like actual Eastern people were not cast in the live action of Aladdin. That's like culture. Like imagine this came out in what, 1994, 95,
Two, two, Baba. My God.
92. It came out in 1992, and like 2017 where you're doing the same thing that you got bashed for like all these years ago. You're like,
I kind of get why Middle Eastern actors did not. Maybe I think they just did an audition or something because
hmm.
look at this screenplay. Who the hell is going to want like their native country to be portrayed like this?
Yeah.
Who the hell wants that? Like it's cultural appropriation on like such terrible standards. No Middle
Hmm.
Eastern could handle doing that. So if even if they didn't audition or something, I totally
Yeah.
understand it because it's sad. Only a purebred American, which Will Smith like is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He is.
yeah, it's like a purebred American. Only those
Yeah.
people can like perpetuate.
American is the Will Smith. Will Smith is the next Tom Hanks.
He really is. Like I'm just waiting for him to. Yeah, like the pursuit of happiness is the
Yeah.
forest come. Like
Yeah.
his forest come. That's what it is.
Exactly. Will Smith is like the next Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
Just
like or the Tom Cruise. Like I just feel like these uh but no, Tom Cruise is not dedicated to the American
yeah.
cause and everything.
Yeah.
But like Will Smith is.
Yeah. So that's what he is.
That's good humor lost in such dumb activities. What can I say? Yeah.
Cool. What
But
else
I think
about
Aladdin.
Aladdin did we not like? He
I mean, I
lied
think we spoke
such
about this while
obvious
choosing
news.
about the movie, while choosing the movies
Hmm?
only. I think you only pointed out that you don't really like how he changed himself. It like all his change and all the things that he was doing to change was, for her and never for
Yeah.
like himself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Aladdin to be more selfish. Firstly. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
I
I
really
don't know
love
if
the
his
character,
if
man.
he
Like I
had this
just want him to have a
backstory,
great life.
well, if he had this backstory where he changed himself to get Jasmine so that he could get the entire property so that he could be a prince, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Like basically love and all that, no,
Yeah, I
that's
think
not
so.
working for
Jasmine,
me. Like give me like
yeah.
good stats of like
Jasmine, you are just a
funny.
chess piece.
Yeah,
Exactly.
do that. Like show me that. That
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
Like you just want a white tiger, but Disney made.
Yeah, my tiger
That's what you
Disney.
want right now.
Right.
Disney made bad South Asian bad Middle Eastern representation, all of that.
Yeah.
That's your little animated white tiger right
Yep.
there.
Amazing. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's changing himself, right? I think that sums it up. Him just changing
I had
himself
one
was
more thing. It wasn't like a privilege thing, but I just remembered because you were talking about Will Smith, and Will Smith was the genie, right?
yeah, yeah, he was.
So Robin Williams like voiced Genie in like the animation apparently. And did you ever notice whenever the Genie would sing, he had such American references? Like it was all about like either American football or like blah blah blah.
Yeah,
It was
he
nothing about
did.
Middle
He
Eastern
did.
reference.
He did. Even the ending, if
Yeah,
you notice, like I think everybody must have noticed because this keeps coming up as like the Disney Easter egg where the genie is wearing a goofy
yeah,
hat
yeah,
and he's like, I'll go on the beach and I'll explore summer. And I was like, तो Middle East में गर्मी कितनी होती है उधर? तुम ठंडी
yeah.
जगह जाओगे ना? What summer are you talking about?
Like I don't understand the thought process behind making the character Middle Eastern. If you don't want to like talk to the audience about the Middle Eastern like aspirations or dreams
Right.
or like problems, like I don't understand. They could like I think you were right. Like when you said ki they just want to talk about a poor person, a normal person, a
Yeah.
commoner, and they just went Middle Eastern. There is no
Yeah.
place more garib than this. I'm gonna just like
Of
have this. I
course.
think that's a spot on
Of
thought
course.
process they had about this.
Yeah, there's no better explanation. There's nothing they do Middle East, like they don't represent Middle East in anything else except Garibi. They're like Garib
Yeah,
log ki tarah hai. Let's go
yeah.
to Middle East. That's all they do. And probably
Such like
lamb.
top tier.
The lamb they could
Yeah,
have like replaced with anything like an amulet or I don't know, whatever the American thing is. I remember amulet because
yeah,
I think in Descendants or like something like that I had seen it. Whatever. But they have all these things that they could have replaced it for. So the only thing Middle Eastern there that could not be replaced by Disney was Garibi.
yeah. I'm just like even with and the Karibi was and also Lovely, I don't know if this is true, but Jasmine's palace had a Ganesh like sculpture,
I didn't notice
like
it.
Jasmine's palace. I noticed it. I was like, why? What is an elephant doing here? There's an elephant in the palace, like the Sultan's palace. First
I
of all,
don't think
why do
I
they call it
don't think in 1989 Disney even like made the difference between Middle East and
92?
India. They were like same here
Yeah,
as
that's
sab
what
ke
they
sab
did.
gareeb hai.
In South Asia, Middle Eastern, भाई भाई, एक ही है ये तो.
Yeah.
They're not even different continents.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
They're just one big loop.
Yeah.
There's not a sea or anything separating them. Just one big
Just same thing.
mass.
They're all poor. They're all poor.
Yeah,
Nothing else
yeah. And
matters.
we were still thinking America is so great and everything. Whatever. That's a whole conversation. But
Hmm.
yeah, again with Jasmine, I felt her character was a tad bit improvement from like the other characters we saw. I
Hmm.
think primarily because of the age gap
Yeah.
and everything.
Like how
But
she uses
still, like
seduction and all of that. Super
yeah.
like I wouldn't think Disney would do that. Like rewatching Aladdin after
Yeah,
all these years, I was like, wait, Disney did that? So
yeah,
yeah,
I know.
so that was great.
But it again just comes back कि मेरे को प्यार चाहिए पापा मुझे आपसे
Hmm.
दूर जाना है because मुझे
And it
प्यार
also
चाहिए.
comes back to a girl can't do anything other than seducing the guy to get her way, right? It doesn't
Yeah, it's such
move on
poor
from a femininity.
representation. Yeah,
Femininity.
yeah, yeah. Like we said, right? She's just Ariel without the singing. I think that's a
Yeah.
very good like description.
Yeah.
She really is. Yeah.
Cool. But if you think about Disney movies now, like Frozen and Moana, like you still see better representation. And if you see like
Yeah.
over the years, Disney has gotten better. The only reason we're not talking about that in depth is like we really didn't want to watch them over again. We were tired of watching three.
No, we have like yeah. Also, like the thing is, like you said, right? These movies are such considered classics, and they keep being passed down. Like imagine a 1959 movie being relevant to a 2001 born. Like
Yeah,
Sleeping Beauty was the shit I grew up with. Like fairy tales are
exactly.
never going to be gone. So it's still going to have an effect on like, the generation after generation.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's very important to portray like, choose classics instead of Frozen and everything.
Hmm.
Because these are stuff that people are growing up with. And Frozen is just something it's like, yeah, it's not the first thing a child reads because there's no textbook. I mean, sorry, no textbook. I mean, there's not a storybook, right,
Storybook,
for
yeah.
Frozen. Yeah, like Frozen was just created in the studio.
Hmm.
I've never watched Moana, by the way, but like Frozen also has its own set of problems. Like again, love at first sight and all that crap. I don't know why Disney hasn't exhausted. Like
Hmm.
this could be so much more than love at first sight, man. So
But it does, like, they do break the whole idea that love at first sight happens, right? In
but
Frozen.
it still happens with the dude with the donkey, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hans
Yeah.
or whatever his name is.
It wasn't love at first sight, it was love in one day, which is.
Yeah, love in one day. Yeah, that thing.
Don't know how
And I
it's
love how
better.
Yeah, Elsa was my fave. She just had no love interest at all.
Yeah.
She
Like,
just
this
loved
is not work.
ice.
And it was so, yeah, she was ice. And it was
Elsa
so
is a
weird.
Scorpio.
No wonder.
I looked it up. I was like, which
Yeah.
Disney princess is a Scorpio? I want to know.
But it's really funny that Elsa didn't want love considering like she was like in one room of her house for her
I know.
entire life. So
Yeah.
her parents died. So the logical, like if you look at it psychologically, that's what she would want. But she's like, no, I don't have time for this business. Let's just run. I've got a kingdom to run here. Mere
Yeah.
gloves ka hai.
I feel like with Elsa and everything, she want for somebody like who's gone through like that. I feel like she would need familial love or like
Hmm.
platonic love more than like romantic love. Because I feel that would be not difficult for her to ace, but like the idea of like Anna, like protecting Anna was like her love and everything. So I felt
Makes sense.
Elsa had a great
But
arc, man. Like
yeah, Elsa had a great arc. And apparently Elsa is supposed to be Ace. Yeah, I looked that up.
Wow, Elsa, I love you.
Yeah, Elsa is
You're
supposed to
fabulous.
be Ace. So that's something. That's great. Moana didn't
Elsa
have
is
a love
just
interest. So again, I love
yeah.
all these movies where they're just like, let's do away with it. Let's get them to get
What
together.
about that Brave movie, the one with curly hair?
Merida, yeah, yeah. She didn't have. Brave is very underrated. Like Brave deserves better.
Yeah, never watched it, but yeah,
I've watched it in parts, I guess. Like I don't think I've watched it at one stretch altogether.
yeah.
Hmm.
Even like Disney right now has kind of
I think the
breaking. I
only
think animation. Yeah,
I was just saying that I think the only problem with Brave that I would have is that the setting and the animation is too dark, and it's not like, just to visually watch it, but that's like a personal thing. So to visually watch it, I wouldn't like it as much. But yeah, I think that's a really timing thing.
yeah,
I think the storyline and everything is great, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think like just with like Disney, like right now it's like I don't know about Disney animation, but I saw this trailer for this movie called Raya and the Dragon or something like that,
Yeah,
which is a Disney movie.
yeah, yeah. There is
Yeah,
something like that. I remember.
yeah, and it was like a ensemble cast, so like you had different people. It's really good to see. So I think Disney is getting better, but I really hope they do something about these classics because every child, like the first books they read is like
Hmm.
fairy tales and shit.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
don't think there is anything that they can do about the classic because it's been there, done that. I think it's up to us to like um not let kids believe that these classics could be real life or this is the norm. I think
yeah, but that's why
that's
they have Disney has like a whole range of stuff right now.
yeah. So
So
like
like you can all
right.
see stuff.
So Disney definitely for future needs to produce more things that are more inclusive and things that are more woke, to say the least. I don't really like the term, but like woke in general. But that's what Disney can do. But I think a lot of it is up to us to say that okay, ठीक है, Aurora Snow White का काम अब बस हो गया है. And moving on,
Yeah,
look at better movies to
yeah,
make.
like better role models. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what needs to be done from our side. Like Disney produced what had to be produced for 1950s. It produced what the people wanted. Now they're producing movies that the people want now. So like make sure
yeah,
that people watch movies that people want now instead of going back to like 1959 and showing them Aurora.
yeah,
Doesn't make
yeah,
sense. Like I would prefer if
definitely.
somebody showed a kid My Friend Ganesha over the Sleeping Beauty any day. Like rather show
I
them
think
that.
my friend Ganesha had like really good like message and everything.
Yeah.
Because that was I couldn't believe that that was an Indian production as a child and everything. So I was just like, that's too good. Like that's so different from Bollywood and everything. And apparently it was an Indian production.
Really weird. Anyway, I think that is a wrap for today. I think that's what we have. Do you have anything to add?
I don't really have like anything to add. I think we wasted too much time talking about this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yep, that is it from us, Shavangi.
Oh, yeah, I have to do something. Yeah. Thank you for listening to Privilege Check podcast. If you like this episode, then please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to get your podcast from.
Don't forget to like this episode, subscribe, which button you should see probably in the center over here. And
Yes, probably.
hopefully that works. And I think Shivangi's face and mine should be hidden by playlist and an episode you would like. So watch
Yes.
that. And yeah, do all of that and follow us on our socials. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Privilege Check. That's PRIVILEGECHK. Just an enlightened life.